Well, for the next two episodes, we're going back to school for these. So let's just dive in and see what I mean. This one particularly is called the Professor's Plan. Next time, which would probably be tomorrow, will be the Professor's Plan B. All by the same person, a Turkish tactician. So we're going to take a look at both of those tactics. They are different. They're not both 4-2-3-1s. So we're going to see how they both work. Both seem to be very good. And we'll just see how it works with our teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. But there's really no description on this. It's just an image with, I'm assuming, the guy saying the Professor's Plan: 4-2-3-1 wide, AM, 420 played, 361, 1124 goal differential, 2 Champions League, 1 World Cup, 1 Euro 2026, and 6 league titles. They did test it out initially with Fenerbahce and got 306 wins, 27 draws, and 16 losses. So, at least in the Turkish league, this looks like it's pretty phenomenal. But let's dive into the Premier League and see how it worked. Well, looking at the Premier League, first and third is pretty nice. Liverpool with 96 points, only 4 losses. Aston Villa one more with 89 points. Yeah, you could still build off this, but it worked definitely. Well, Liverpool cruising in both domestic cup titles, beating Aston Villa along the way in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, getting to the final, winning against Tottenham 3-0, and then getting to the FA Cup final against Aston Villa and winning again 3-0. And the only European blemish here is a single draw to Celtic. However, they get to the Europa League final and win in extra time, however, 2-1 against West Ham. So yeah, all in all, 4 trophies. Pretty nice. Squad wise, I mean, I'm actually surprised there's not more green here. But goals: 30 for Jota, McAllister with 25, 22 for Salah, 21 for Nunez. They've got a lot spread around. 21 assists for Trent, 18 for Andrew Robertson. Average rating, Trent getting the tops with a 7.41. I'm actually surprised Salah's not a little higher. Switching over to Aston Villa, we already know where they dropped out in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. That leads us to one final competition and unfortunately losing to Lille in extra time in the Europa Conference League. So all in all, I still say this is a pretty nice season. Knocked out in the semifinals in the Carabao Cup by Liverpool, who's using the same tactics, so I can't fault them there. FA Cup, exact same thing, but they got to the final. Conference League, they got to the final. I would still take this season. Squad-wise, interesting that the green's not a little bit more spread out, but goals: 28 for Ollie Watkins, 25 for Diaby. Assists: 19 for Matty Cash, 14 for Digne, and then average rating, Alex Marino gets a 7.30. Liverpool's data hub, you can see very attacking minded, 2.63 goals per game. Very nice job there. They've gotten better, but they've got a lot worse. Everything else attacking wise is through the roof and at least on par for the most part. Defensively, they actually look pretty solid too. So 16 shutouts, very nice. Goals per game, we already saw 2.63, 0.87 conceded, 0.83 XG against. Aston Villa missing out on the goals and the bottom portion, but overall still, I mean, it's not too bad. Defensively, they have some better peaks here and there, but, you know, it looks like 2.16 goals per game. We've definitely seen better from them, but 0.79 conceded, 1 flat XG against is pretty nice. 18.29 shots per game too, but they're usually up there in that mark at least. Premier League stats: 2.53 points per game for Liverpool, Aston Villa with 2.34. Most goals, a flat 100 for Liverpool, 82 for Aston Villa in third. Fewest shots against in third for Liverpool, 270, Aston Villa with 324. Most possession, Liverpool with 58%, Aston Villa 2 down at 56. Most dribbles made, Liverpool making the list at 609. Best pass completion, 87% for both. And most shots for Liverpool with 745, Aston Villa with 695. But now as we switch over to Ipswich Town, absolutely no suspense needed. 109 points, topping the list, 135 goals. Definitely is a good season. Taking a look at their schedule, I mean, it looks pretty nice. Solid greens, some yellows, a couple of reds here and there, but not too bad. You can see they're out in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, 0-3 to Bournemouth, and the FA Cup immediately third round, 1-2 to Rotherham. So overall, while the FA Cup wasn't really kind to them, Carabao Cup quarters is not too bad, but topping the list by a good margin. That works fairly well. And then, of course, squad. They've got more than usual in the green, I guess, is where we need to say. But 25 goals for Connor Chaplin, Broadhead with 15, 8 for Hurst. Assists: 16 for Leif Davis, 14 for Harry Clark. You don't have that high number there for Leif Davis, though. But average rating, Aluko gets in there. But Harry Clark with a 7.39 tops the list. Championship stats: Ipswich in first with 2.37 points per game. Most goals in first, of course, with 135. That is insane. Fewest shots against: Ipswich in third to 373. Most possession with 55%. Most dribbles made 722. And then most shots for in first with 797. So let's dive deeper into the tactic itself. We start out with a sweeper keeper in support. As you can see, this is a 4-2-3-1, fairly standard. Wingbacks on the left and the right in attack, ball playing defenders in the central spots, 2 DMs in support, inside forwards in attack on both sides, an attacking midfielder in attack in the central spot, and an advanced forward in attack up front. Attacking mentality, in possession attacking with his narrow, approach plays pass into space, play out of defense, passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses, play for set pieces and run defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, step up more, and invite crosses. So overall, how did it work for these three teams? Yeah, it worked fairly well. I mean, we have seen higher goal tallies. We have seen higher points. Again, this is just one save. If we try this again, they could be down in the dumps somewhere. Anything could happen from injuries to, I mean, generally transfers and things like that, even though I have transfers off. But this save, it worked well. Ipswich Town, 135 goals. Wow. And then if we look at Liverpool and Aston Villa first and third, you can't really beat that too easily. I mean, we've seen Aston Villa come first and second, but still, this was a phenomenal tactic. Used in this save, if you took control, as I usually say, you could definitely do a lot better here. I mean, even 4 losses you can turn. What is that? Not a lot. They're all by 1 or 2. Tottenham and Aston Villa 0-2, but still. I mean, losing to Aston Villa, same tactic that they're using. So if they're using a normal tactic of that team, then you might steamroll them. But it worked here. Let us know how it worked for you in the comments below. But that's it for me, Safi FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy. And next time, we're trying out Plan B.